Good afternoon and welcome to LUTV's coverage of this Premier League Cup clash between Wolves and Leeds United. The U23s teams just coming onto the field in the looks like decent playing conditions. Ryan Edmondson will skip at the side today as Leeds try to climb off the bottom of this table. They lost the last time they played in the Cup against Birmingham, but we'll go through the teams for you now. It is Sondergaard in goal for Wolves. It's then Burr, Sanderson, Marquez, Otasawi, Giles, Kundal, Francis, Dadashov, Perry and Ashley Seal. The subs for Wolves: Raphael Neer, Terry Taylor, Chem Campbell, Lewis Richards and Boubacar Han. Then for the Whites, we have the starting 11 as follows. It is Kamal Mazek, Noah Kennett, Theo Hudson, Jack Jenkins, Ollie Casey, Charlie Cresswell, Bobby Camwer, Mateus Bogus, Ryan Edmondson, Nicholas Hagland and Stuart McKinstry. The subs: Elia Capriel, Henry Kumwenda, Jamie Shackleton, Alfie McCalmont and Joe Stanley. Myself, Tom Hill and Ben Parker will bring you the action from this game as some of the players just go through a last minute warm-up. Don't want to stick to the 1 o'clock agreed kick-off time, these Wolves players. Last little run to get ready at the Sir Jack Hayward training ground, Ben. And yes, the Premier League Northern Division has been more Leeds' bag this year. Premier League Cup is, of course, just getting away from them, but a win today changes things, makes the table look a little prettier.
It certainly does. And good afternoon, Tom. Good afternoon, everybody else. And it's a good opportunity just to get this Premier League Cup up and running, get the campaign going in a positive direction. We found it difficult, but that's down to the opposition. It's got some really good young players. Wolves have got that in abundance, but they haven't been on a great run of form themselves of Wolves of late. So it's a great opportunity to bounce back from that defeat in a similar part of the world against Birmingham away on Friday. So but we're looking to put those wrongs right today. It's a youthful setup, it's a youthful team, but a team that's full of energy and full of promise.
Certainly is. Players just going through their last minute preparations. And as Ben touched upon, not the best form for Wolves. It's no win in 7. They've lost their last 3 and they've got no win in 5 at home. Of course, this game was set to be played at Telford's ground later today, but it's been moved and gives the players a longer rest should they be involved in the next couple of days in first team exploits. Ryan Edmondson and Nicholas Hagland are ready to start the attack and defend from the front right up towards the halfway line. Strong header needed by Ollie Casey, who will form the centre-back partnership alongside the impressive Charlie Cresswell this season, and Leeds will get the throw-in once Noah Kennett has retrieved possession. At 23 level, we often see that players' numbers dictate where they're going to play. Noah Kennett has been given number 2 today. Of course, we'll see how the team unfolds. Me and Ben have watched Leeds for a good 2 years pretty much now at the 23 level, and flexibility is the word to describe them. They can play in all sorts of positions, but it would be very interesting to see Noah Kennett play at right back today, Ben.
Yeah, well, like I said, we've seen him at centre half, we've seen him holding midfield role. Maybe he's got that another string to his bow by playing right back. If he's in that position, it's no problem. He's a good athlete, good size to him as well, and the main thing is just do a job defensively. Like he's played centre half, just went out to the right hand side, nothing much changes. Just might have to join in the attack a little bit more.
Yeah, might have to show us a new side of his game as Hudson is playing in the number 3 shirt, so he's classed as the left wing back today, which we have seen him play there on a number of occasions. Just a reminder of the table: it is Derby in first, Wolves in second, Birmingham third, Leeds fourth. Win today would put Leeds level with Birmingham, and they'd move to just within 2 points of Wolves, so still a big thing on the horizon. There's still something to play for. Carrot is dangled for the Whites, and then back to the PDL North, which is set for a busy fixture, especially in February, with a whole host of games. In midfield, Wolves win it back. That'll trickle its way towards the edge of the box, which just about getting there is Ollie Casey. Here is Noah Kennett. Bobby Camwer out there as well. Great to see him get a start. Came off the bench against Birmingham, had some injury problems to deal with, and one of the bright prospects that hopefully can now stay injury free. I mean, it was around this time we saw Bryce Zana for the first time last season. He'd been injured for the majority, and then he just turns up, plays centre back, right back, with relative ease. Great runs down the right, and another mainstay in this team. So fingers crossed for Bobby Camwa as the ball's into McKinstry, who will spin on his inside. It's back to Camwa, who has to get it out of his feet. He does towards Haugland, who's floating from left to right. The referee ignores any appeals of a free kick. Benny Ashley-Seal will bring this ball away, and now they're on the counter, Wolves. Good interception from from Jenkins, should I say. Jenkins gets the ball across, it's going to be scooped clear. That's good recovering defence. It wasn't a full throttle counter, Ben, there, but still plenty of pressure for Leeds to deal with, especially considering they were on the attack 10-15 seconds earlier.
Yeah, got back in numbers really well. And it's always key, especially the way we play, expansive shape. Fullbacks getting high and wide, wingers staying wide as well. On the transitions, when we, let's say, do misplace a pass, it's the reaction. Get back into that shape, get back into position as quick as possible, and we did that. Charlie Creswell with the clearance that time.
Yeah, Callum Marzek just putting the ball down, setting himself for what looks like a long goal kick, but of course you never know with Marzek, and it is a floater out to the right. Good header from Wolves. That's going to force the throw in level with the edge of Leeds' box. We've discussed Wolves' form, but of course the team that matters is Leeds, and it is 1 defeat in 9. That did come in the competition last time out against Birmingham, that 2-0 defeat. It's 1 defeat in 5 away, so Carlos Corbrand's men have really upped the ante in the last couple of months. The last 5, a win against Bolton 5-1, a draw against Forest, beat Hull 5-0, Crewe 2-1, and that 2-0 defeat to Birmingham. So every chance today Leeds get one over this Premier League 2 side. We've been playing the likes of Athletic Bilbao in the international youth ranks as Wolves turn away. Hudson's got some work to do as they come down this right hand side. The number 2s look quite impressive early doors. Jenkins gets in though and puts his foot on the ball, and it's Oscar Burr that is wearing the number 2 shirt for Wolves. Big test this though. It's always good, the Premier League Cup, Ben, for, as you say, for players at this level to test the best of the best that they can play against. You know, these players in the black and amber of Wolves are playing the elite in the Premier League competition. Yes, that's what Leeds are aspiring to be.
Certainly is, Tom. I can remember myself when it was reserve team football come up against the bigger clubs throughout the country, and always raise your game. You always want to test, like you said, yourself against these players who are regarded as some of the best in the country. You just reeled off there playing against Bilbao recently, Wolves, so they've got a good pedigree, but so have we. We've got some great young players coming through. They can see Charlie Creswell just fighting for the ball at the side of him. Ollie Casey, it's good to see him get a game. It's been a while since he started with the 23s, obviously being involved with the first team quite a lot. But Jack Jenkins there, number 4, is a big responsibility for him today. He's got to do that kind of sweeping up role, just damping out the fires if Wolves are going to try and attack. And we've been so impressed with him so far this season.
Yeah, of course, got a contract a few weeks back, and he was a player that was just now and again playing for the 23s, mainly the 18s last year, but big chance for him this year. And again, we keep saying it, but just joins the production line of players that don't look out of place. Cresswell's one of them. Callum Marzek had a great year last year for the 23s. He scoops it out to the right. Bobby Camwa can't keep her in. And of course, a bit too much pressure there on Camwa from that clearance. Out towards the left for this throw-in. Camwa gets the ball now. Of course, with it being winter, there's the obvious case of the pitches not being the best. But of course, when they go to training grounds, especially one like Wolves, should suit Leeds' style of play, Ben. I mean, the pitch looks immaculate, like we'd expect, and you'd like to think that passing football can be showcased today by both sides. Yeah,
100%. When the decision got made that was getting switched from Telford's ground to here, I bet the players were absolutely delighted because especially the Crewe game, that didn't look enjoyable one little bit, but it proved that we can win in different ways.
Yeah, we can, as here come Wolves bursting forward, ball in behind, a chance for them to strike towards goal, and it's fired wide, and it's a really big opportunity for Dean Anderson. the number 3 of Wolves. He was charging forward, and Leeds didn't cover the run very well, and maybe a little bit fortunate that it trickled back towards him. But I don't want to say it as I'm sat next to a former left back, or current left back, of course, in the five-a-side ranks. But look, typical defender sort of finish, a little bit rushed. He's playing a bit further forward as like a makeshift midfielder, but composure was needed.
Certainly was, and luckily he did have that composure, because it was far too easy how he just broke through with the ball. No one really tracking him back, no one going to engage him. It's almost leaving it for one another, and thankfully, like I said, there was no composure on the finish.
Yeah, there's Ashley Seal out towards the left and going to try and carry it forward. Heavy touch, good work from Jenkins. That's what Ben mentioned earlier about an important job for him today, is having to cover the defence. With the way Wolves have started, he might have to cover more than one player and get some help from the likes of McKinstry and Mateus Burgess in midfield. So only 8 gone, still goalless. And a big afternoon for the 23s once again, as Wolves very tight pressure, the likes of Perry and Dadashunt edge of the box, stalking Leeds, ready to try and attack, as Edmondson's got some real work on his hands with the powerful left back Owen Otasawi. He's got past him now. Edmondson turns offside. He's the only reason he's got there, though, and Edmondson probably asking for it a bit quicker. But I mean, there's some very impressive physical players now at youth level. You've mentioned it a few times, Ben, about how the players have to be a lot fitter than perhaps they were, a few years ago. But this number 5 for Wolves is certainly going to give Edmondson a run for his money. We've normally seen him, out-muscle a lot of players, but this could be a good test, and normally he thrives under them.
Yeah, it could be a really good one to keep a close eye on, that really physical battle. Hopefully the referee will allow that, because sometimes we're seeing where blow quite easy, but no, like I say, we need Ryan to be strong, powerful, keep hold of the ball, just give us that platform so we can start the attacks from.
It will be a Wolves throw-in, and Kenner has just clipped the ball off the top of his head and headed it behind, so Bobby Camwa's now marking up. There is Kenner just coming into shots. Camwa has to get back here as they flick the ball over the top. Good covering defending from Casey. There's Kenner, he was clipped, and that's a tackle from McKinstry. He fouls, but the foul was already given in Leeds' favour prior to that tackle, which is good news. I don't think McKinstry got a touch of that ball. And Mateus Burgess now comes short for possession. As it clears, it's been all Wolves pressure, not really doing much with it, but they've been on top for a little while. And that's a neat touch from Campbell, wanting to try and start an attack, but a little sloppy. Now he's got to use that pace of his to get back as they're in behind. Ball floated in. There comes Hudson, and he just drills it towards the far side of the training ground. And just little warning signs for Leeds, Ben, that this Wolves team, it appears the number 6, Ryan Giles, is going to play the left wing-back role. And they're more than happy to try and exploit that right-hand side. Yeah,
I think we just need to kind of just settle down, really, have a bit of possession, keep the ball, because at the moment, every time we win the ball back, we're giving it away straight away, and that's how the pressure's coming from Wolves at the moment.
Yeah, layoff from Taylor Perry. He's back now. Inside Wolves' half. Edmondson's nearly there, and off he goes again. The bench right at their feet to give Edmondson that word of encouragement, as the number 5 we've discussed now charges forward. It's a dangerous run from him. The cutback isn't. It was Owen Otasawi again. It is going to be another Wolves throw-in. Ball down the line, that's going to trickle out, and a bit of a welcome break for Leeds' defence, who will now reset and try and build out from the back. So this is 11th in the Premier League 2 rankings, Division 1 versus Leeds sitting in 3rd. Leeds do have a game in hand across a couple of teams in a fight with the likes of Forest and Birmingham for the PDL North title. So a good chance to test themselves against a team they could be seeing more of, as Kenner flicks the ball up and doesn't get much to it. That's a challenge from Jenkins. Bogus then flies in. Bogus out-muscled by Otasawi. That's good from Jenkins, though. Leeds have shown a bit of respect, but not too much there to just get the head down and put a challenge in. It's over the head of Hudson, and Cresswell will usher this one across. And even the number 11 for Wolves, the Benny Ashley Seal, he's a big, powerful striker, and him against Casey and Cresswell is another duel that we'll relish watching today. into Haugland, who gets clipped, I think he gets a kick on the hand as he runs into Dion Anderson. It's now back into Christian Marquez, Andreas Sonnegaard in the goal. Got a bit more time than Leeds would have perhaps liked to give him. Camwa's chest away. And it just bounces out. I mean, you can see it's not how we want to see it, but you can see the pace Bobby Camwa brings. We know all about it, but he does look that if he gets the ball, he might have the beating of the number 6 down the right. As now Ashley Sealer comes forward, tries to go past Casey. Out comes Majacek. Great stop. Really good reactions, and well, it came from nowhere, really.
He absolutely flew off his line, and he needed to be. You can see the Wolves player there behind the goal. Might have picked up a knock, but fantastic goalkeeping. So alert, so aware.
Yeah, ball in behind. Edmondson nearly gets there, but just the keeper getting to it first.
Good pressure for you, well done.
Yeah, Leeds now with a chance to build from this throw-in. Here's Cresswell. To Hudson. Hudson gonna just keep possession for a little while, and it's to Casey. Here is Cresswell. Back to Casey again. And no real pressure at first from Wolves, so it gives him a bit of time. That's a neat touch from Jenkins. Gives him a bit of space. He'll now go crossfield looking for Camwa, but it's far too far in front. Camwa will try to have a late surge to the ball. And, I mean, it was better from Leeds, keeping the ball a little bit more, but if you are going to play it long, it's a situation where it's going to have to be accurate, because you're just going to give Wolves the ball back, and we're more than 10 minutes in, nearly 15 into the game, and they've looked pretty comfortable.
Yeah, it's like I say, the first time where we just kept the ball a little bit just between Charlie Cresswell and Ollie Casey. And I don't mind that. If no one's going to pressure you, just take the sting out of the game a little bit.
Yeah, tackle from Jenkins. It's good hold-up play by Ashley Seal. It's out towards Sanderson. Back into the centre-half position for Marquez. Into midfield now for Ed Francis. Sanderson back on the ball. Cresswell heads away. Good defending from Cresswell, but he will concede a corner. The first of the game, and this is where we don't know what to expect. Of course, Wolves look a pretty big team. Leeds have defended them well, but this is a situation that it could give either side an advantage.
It could do, but the basics remain the same. Stay with your man. If you're in that kind of little zone area at the front post, just go attack the ball. But it's important you just stay alert. Don't let anyone get a free runner. Get on to the referee about blocks as well, because that's been a big thing I've seen in the U23 football. Just blocks for the runners as well.
Floated to the near post, headed away. Not the best cross. It might actually fall for something. Good cutout from Cresswell, who was asking for an offside, and Haugland appeals for a throw-in to go Leeds' way, not given. Ball in behind, and now is Oscar Burt. Cross deflected. Cresswell has to get rid, but he's really careful before playing it to Bogus. Risky pass across the face, and it's now out to the left. It's missed by Leeds. Shot's going to come in. Majacek dive, but Casey got there first, and it's out for a throw-in on the far side. Leeds falling asleep a little bit, but Kenner and McKinstry get across. It was a loose pass. McKinstry's turned into trouble though. Will the referee give a free kick? He does, which is welcomed by the Leeds players. For a second he was in a bit of bother there with 3 orange shirts around him.
Yeah, he's done well to win the free kick, but moments prior to that, if we're going to pass his way out of trouble, we've got to be so precise, play it to feet, turned the ball over with 25 yards away from goal, nearly got punished for it, so just be careful, got to be bang on it, especially in those type of areas.
Hauglund brings it under control. He has Hudson for company, and it's now to Jenkins. That's a poor pass looking for Bogus, and Leeds just making costly errors. It's good work from Noah Kennett, and he goes to Bogus now, who can carry it further forward. Bobby Cam was on the touchline, another pass goes astray. Kennett heads into the middle, flicked away. And Wolves can break through the centre of the field. In the centre circle, Jenkins and Kennett flying out, but Wolves have managed to break down the left. They've got an opportunity to cross. It's taken early. Burr is playing incredibly high up the pitch. He's going to shoot. Good block from Hudson. Wolves still in possession though. That's until Canwa nips in. Jenkins back to Majacek. Majacek goes early and leads for the fourth or fifth time in a row, just giving it straight back to a Wolves shirt. And bit of a character test this, because you could, like, maybe one or two games in nearly a year and a half where Leeds get dominated possession-wise, but then have to try and work on the counter.
Yeah, everything at the moment just seems a bit rushed in possession, a bit forced. It almost seemed like a bit nervy, thinking the press is going to come from Wolves. Just take the sting out of the game. Trust your ability. Trust your first touch.
Yeah, back into Christian Marquez. Here's Anderson. Nearly 20 minutes gone of this Premier League Cup clash between Wolves and Leeds. And Leeds yet to test the keeper. Majacek forced into one save so far. There is Benny Ashley Seal. And Edmondson trying to put the pressure on. Bobby Canwa does just that, nipping in to try and stop the attack down the left, and a bit of pressure. Matthias Bogus has managed to win the ball back, and there's no free kick. There's got options right and left as Bogus. He goes to Edmondson. Edmondson's got a chance to shoot right footed towards goal. It's saved. Will it fall to McKinstry? It will, and he'll fire into the bottom corner, and a clinical counter-attack from Leeds puts them 1-0 in front. And really good work from all involved, Bogus, Edmondson and McKinstry. That's a fine move, Ben.
Use the word there, clinical, and that's exactly what it was. We've been probably second best the first 20 minutes, but won the ball back high with Bogus, and then when you've got the bodies going forward, that's when you've got to have the quality, that's when you've got to have the composure. You can see it driving. Ryan Edmondson's made a run on his outside, feeded him at the right time. You think, what are you going to do here, Ryan? Good strike, but got the bodies to follow it up. It's a good control finish from McKinstry. People can snatch at that, but like I say, against the run of play, but that just shows the clinical side to us, give us a chance we can punish teams.
Anderson down the right, but yeah, really good work from Leeds, absorbing that pressure, and the one opportunity they've had to test the keeper, taking it in style, and a neat finish as well, because they're quite awkward, those where you can see them from quite a way. You know, it's spinning towards him, he's got players coming in behind him, you can probably hear them, and then you just make it nice and simple, little cushioned finish. And he's another player that's only arrived a short while ago, stepped in from a couple of games in the 18s and really impressed as Hudson goes past the Wolves midfield. Not sure whether the Wolves man on the right hand side had picked up a slight injury there. Out towards Canwa. Now Canwa with a chance to go past his man. Runs into a bit of a one-way street. He has to look around for a bit of help. It's great skill from Bobby Canwa. Good strength as well. And it's now inside to Bogus. This is good work as Hudson gets it. He might fancy a drive. Deflected. And out on the left is Nicholas Hauglund. He tries to get past Burr, but runs into trouble in the early stages, of course. Plenty of time, and hopefully we don't see too much of him. But the Wolves right back looks a real dangerous threat as Casey's got to get back. Out comes Myers at this time. He has missed it. Casey gets there. And Ben getting a little bit nervous to the side of me.
Well, you have to say he's just done enough. He's put the striker off. Thankfully we had bodies around just to clear it up, but that's the danger. If we turn the ball over easy, the spaces in between the lines, and if got a high line, people can find the pass to go in behind. So, look, Miyazaki, like I said, in the end, just done enough. But it's one to be wary of, is that.
Yeah, in the middle with Marquez again. Halfway through this first half. To Francis. Camera's missed the ball and Leeds under pressure now as the defence try and come across. No one Kenner gets there just at the right time. Ashley Seal just behind him, ready for a first time shot you'd expect, but no one Kenner just drifting in from the right back position, same as today. Camwa stepping in. Just a reminder, today's coverage is being brought to you by Deliveroo Food Freedom as this corner's getting ready to be taken. We'll get Ben's thoughts on that attack once it has taken place, this set piece. Four Wolf shirts in and around the penalty spots. Mazek stays on his line, and it's a good job because Dean Anderson headed it straight into his path. But another warning sign, Ben?
He's done well there, Ollie Casey, because it's always difficult when you're backing away from the ball and you've got someone attacking it who's coming over top of you. You're not going to win the header yourself, but you've got to get close to your marker. Just make it difficult so you don't get a proper free header on it, and he did his job really well, did Ollie Casey.
Yeah, Camwa down the right. He was looking for a white shirt. I don't know if he... The only thing I can think of there is, did he expect Edmonton to have arched his run round the outside? It's certainly a bit too powerful for Nicholas Haugland as Wolves can bring it out from the back. There's Bogus again with a Town interception. Edmondson to his right hand side. A chance for Leeds again. Edmondson off the post and wide. And he comes in with a follow up. And it will be a corner. But Ryan Edmondson in those situations, you would fancy him all day. But what an interception again from Bogus. And nearly a lick of pen away from 2-0.
He's got to score there, as Ryan can see he's disappointed in himself. Yes, unlucky, he's hit the post and come back out, but like you said, Tom, those positions you expect him to find back of the net. But again, Bogus is almost like he's setting a trap. He's wanting to play into the midfield area, he's reading it, and again he's got the quality to release Edmondson at the correct time.
Hudson just mimicking he was going to go short. This time he floats it to the far post, puts pressure on the keeper. And he deals with it quite well. And now a attempted counter. No one Kenner is there again. Majacek drills this one. Good job Cresswell was there. That pass is deflected. Now Leeds have to get back again as McKinstry goes across to cover. Luke Kundal now with Ryan Giles, but once more Bogus showing the defensive side of his game to help Leeds out. Needs a bit of support. Okay, he doesn't. He just decides to do some kick-ups instead. Clear it. If in doubt, just show everybody else your skills you've got.
We're from a different generation, Tom, where you just boot out, we'll play fine Rose Ed. These guys, just like I say, a few keepy-ups, a little overhead kick, clear the danger.
Yeah, Kenner to Bogus. He claims he's clipped. Well, that was a very powerful refereeing signal. I thought he was going to get play on, but he's given the throw in the other way. Very enthusiastic from our ref. As Wolves a bit slow to move at first as we approach the half-hour mark. If you're just joining us on LUTV, myself, Tom Hill, and Ben Parker. And Leeds leading after Stuart McKinstry's effort that was tapped in after a counter. Leeds have since hit the post. Now with Cresswell once again, and he just rolls it back to Kamil Majacek, who looks for Camwa, just can't find him. There's Kenner. Jenkins with a important cutout, gets to it first, wants a helping hand, and now he floats it to left where Hudson can attack it at pace. Hudson sees the run of Edmondson, ignores it for now. Here's McKinstry. He's got Camwa on the far right. He's trying to find him. Burgess has got company. He's clattered into it first, but it's a Fair challenge, says the referee. Here's Taylor Perry. Wolves trying to go through the middle of midfield, but again, good pressing from the Whites. Nearly a loose pass that, but they've recovered as Sanderson breaks down this right-hand side. Bit of extra pace used by him to try and give his team a lift. Leeds got plenty of bodies back. Bobby Cam was playing as a right wing back and then trying to burst forward to help out. That means Kenner's tucked inside as they come forward with Giles. There is Kenner with another clearance in a very similar position, and looks like Leeds have just seen the danger and adjusted the team a little bit. Kenner was playing a bit further wide in the first 10 minutes. Now he's back centrally. So Carlos Corbrand and his team have spotted something they didn't like and tried to make adjustments.
Yeah, he has. And like I say, it's not the first time where he's coming really narrow. It's almost like a centre-half position there now in Kenner, which we know he is familiar with. But really good defensive kind of duties just to anticipate it.
Yeah, good work by Cresswell. Watches it come over his shoulder. That will be a goal kick. Leeds still leading by a goal to nil. As it goes for Cresswell, who will use the left foot. Haugen goes down with a head injury. Didn't look to be too serious. Must be back on his feet because the referee hasn't stopped proceedings. Sanderson forward. Good cut out by Casey. Little nudge on Burgess, who was trying to get the referee to give him the free kick. Kenner nips in, and it's enough to dislodge possession from Renard Dadashin. Cam were caught out, but he goes back to make amends. Now he has to do it again as Ryan Giles gets the better of him. Floated in. Casey heads clear. And Hudson to bring the ball away. Cresswell trying to keep possession. Haugland his target. I mentioned in the first 5 or 6 minutes we'd seen a few players that had impressed for Wolves, and there's some good battles forming. Haugland against Anderson. There's going to be a change though for the Whites, and Alfie McCalmont is getting ready. And look like Matez Bogus his number. Now, don't know whether there is an issue or tactically they spotted something they want to change, but Bogus is off, Ben. Inside the first 30 minutes, McCalmont on, and of course we know what to expect from the Northern Ireland international. Calming things down in midfield and just start to maybe keep possession a bit more for Leeds.
Yeah, we know what technical ability Alfie McCalmont does possess, and also this season has been a catalyst for the team. Has almost drove the team on towards the kind of winning post. But for me, that's a change that's been pre-planned. Definitely, see Bogus first 30 minutes has been probably our best player, and came off no injury at all. A few fist pumps with the bench. So for me, it's definitely pre-planned that.
Yeah, it's a fair shout, is that, Ben? Done his job if he knew he had a 30-minute stint. Played a major role in the goal, as it is with Ashley Seal. He runs into trouble. McCalmont's there, and now he will drive through midfield. He's got McKinstry trying to catch up. Here's Haugland on the left. Edmondson's on the far right. McCalmont's still got it. He's towards Haugland, who's got Sanderson in front of him. Burst trying to get back. Here is Hudson. Hudson will run towards the box. Still going, Theo Hudson. Just one touch too many. Jenkins, McCalmont, he gets involved. Jenkins again. Wolves get there just about. And some real pace in this Wolves team as they come through the middle. Cresswell always chasing back. A bit too much strength. The referee allows the game to go on, which that was your point earlier when we mentioned the battle between Edmondson and Otasawi, that we'd like to see the ref let the game flow, and he's done just that. That was seemingly a 50-50 shoulder barge. Game on and get on with it.
Yeah, it seems like a real game does this as well. We know what's at stake. It might just the 3 points, but no, it seems like the boys are really stepping up to the challenge almost like know they've got to win the battle to try and get anything out of this game, not roll over, and that's what we've been doing so far.
Yeah, McKinstry beaten to the ball. Kenner can't get to it. Edmondson again will try and lead the line up front. Sanderson has it and he looks down the right. And it's a poor pass. It's welcome from Leeds. It's not often we've seen Wolves just give the ball away like that.
Again, I just think we've got our shape a lot better. Earlier on, yeah, we know what formation system Wolves are going to play. They play it through first team throughout all the youth levels as well. But it's a different matter coming up against it. They do it ever so well. But no, it just seems we've got to grips with it over the last 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, Kenner on the right, and you can't really argue with Ben's comments. It does look like tactically it's a lot better matched. McKinstry gets away with a poor pass as Cresswell latches onto a loose pass by Wolves. Now Haugen's got space on the left. He's got Burr trying to get back and nudge him off the ball. Haugen has another go at him, and that should be a corner at least. I think Wolves have been given the decision.
Looked a blatant corner from where we are here.
Am I seeing things?
We must be seeing a different picture to what the referee have seen. But it was better from Hagland there, just positive. Every time you've got space in front of you as a forward player, especially a wide player as well, go travel with the ball, go take that space.
Yeah, keeper clears long downfield. I thought that's like Ben should have been the corner as Burr's got in behind. He'd switched off a second across the face. Casey fires it away for a corner kick. Wolves very dangerous down this right hand side.
Again, good position from Ollie Casey. You have to say all our back four so far, they've positioned themselves really well, especially from crosses in a wide area. Just getting to a good position. Sometimes you don't have to mark the man in the box. It's all about getting into the right position and then your body shape as well. Can you get on the half turn? Can you see both ball and man? And then get a good clearance, good contact on the ball.
Yeah, Francis to take the corner. Almost going to be scraped in. Edmondson gets it clear. He didn't get enough connection on the first attempt, and Leeds perhaps a little lucky. Calmont a bit quicker in the face of the Wolves players as they go from right to left to Marquez. Leeds maybe guilty of sitting a little deep as the centre-back onto how he brings it forward. Edmondson trying to check his run. Still got the ball, the centre-half. Runs into Noah Kenner, who stands his ground. Haugland. Good work from Camwa. Hudson to Cresswell. 10 to go. Leeds, that's a risky pass from Cresswell. Now Wolves have got a chance to break forward. Across comes Noah Kenner. Timely block yet again from the Leeds number 2. That's 3 or 4 now. And he's up on his feet to clear. Edmondson is manhandled off the ball there. And perhaps just giving up, ready to try and fight for another day. That's better from Leeds, though. They've had to force them back to the keeper, restructured, and that's probably what you were saying a couple of minutes ago, that tactically they may be not as confident Wolves. They can get down the left-hand side as much as they were. They're having to rethink that through.
Yeah, I think just little tweaks in our system, and it's been good to see from the side and the players adjusting to that as well.
Yeah, here's Burr on the ball. Into the box, he wants the 1-2. Jenkins comes across and just tells Hudson he wants to carry this away, and he did it well until the pass. A couple of those balls from Leeds into the middle of the park have gone astray as Kenner's gone down with perhaps a flick to the side of the face. Into the channel, Majacek saves, a chance on the rebound, another stop. Really good work from Karl Majacek to get up and deny them again. Bobby Camber running back into traffic, but he's done it well. And Kamal Majacek now 3 very important saves in the game, 2 of them back to back. And it's a good job he's in the goal at the moment, because other keepers could have wasted the opportunities. McKinstry, it's a brilliant turn and nutmeg now. 1-on-1 with the keeper. Across comes the defender. McKinstry rises the challenge. Can he finish? Keeper saves. Second bar of the chair, and he will finish. Stuart McKinstry has tore them apart down that left-hand side. He's got 2 goals to his name. He might have got a lucky deflection to go, but it's you can probably say Benny deserved it for that run and that nutmeg. That was beautiful to watch, and Leeds double their advantage.
What a goal, absolutely superb. Moments prior to that, double save from Majzek when it looked like it was going to be 1-1, and then to break away, get that goal, just the determination from McKinstry. You could see Ryan Edmondson on the follow-up trying to get on end of the rebound, and this was a double save, so vital. And then almost in a blink of an eye, we start a counter-attack off. You have to say Theo Hudson's done really well here. Instead of just hoofing it up the pitch, turning over possession, done a little turn, and then played it to feet, and then we're away here. Little nutmeg on the centre half, don't go for those. And then you think the chance has gone with a recovering defender, but fought for the ball there. Good save by the keeper, but followed up on the rebound. 2-0.
Yes, Allison down the right, and Leeds must stay switched on here, try and retain this 2-goal cushion, and Cresswell does just that. Doesn't dive in recklessly. Times it to perfection as Hudson wins a throw-in. Pretty perfect for Leeds because Wolves were straight on the attack once more. They're probably feeling a little sorry for themselves because they've been good to watch. Trying to attack. Leeds have been just better on the counter.
We've just been more clinical. That's all we have done, and it's good to see because we've seen a lot of games under 23s. Birmingham on Friday in the first half, we missed chance after chance, and we end up losing the game. Whereas this time round today, Wolves have had all the possession, the territory. We've had 2 chances, 2 goals.
Yeah, perfect summary as McCalmont dives in. Another good bit of work from Hudson, and Callum Majzek with a quick round of applause to applaud his defenders. I mean, Theo Hudson we've seen in the 18s as a winger, but playing it as a left wing back today is going to have to do more defensive work than perhaps he's used to. But that was impressive again, and less than 7 to go in this first half. And Stuart McKinstry, the man of the moment, with 2 goals to his name. Five Wolf shirts in the box, couple hanging around, lingering towards the far post. Again to Sanderson, potential push there I thought, but not given. Hudson jumps up for the rebound. Leeds trying to scramble across, Cresswell in particular. That's good work again from Hudson, and Leeds having to dig in a little bit. The offside flag, he eventually does come up now once the defender goes towards it. Little breather.
A little breather indeed. Take the sting out of the game now. Vital little period this. 5 minutes or so before half time. Getting at the break 2-0 up. Give everyone a massive confidence boost coming out for the second half, because you have to say individually and collectively as a defensive kind of unit, we've done so well. Putting bodies on the line, positioning ourselves really well. Be nice just not to get in those positions at times, because I think we're forcing it. The pass can say they're turning over the possession far too easily, and that's the reason why we've been having to just, like I say, throw his bodies on the line, defend really well. I just think we can keep the ball so much better, and then that just takes away all the defensive work we have to do.
Yeah, ball forward, and Cresswell has to try and watch himself. They've got him behind. Now a shot comes in, and that one has managed to creep its way past Majzek, so game on. In the Midlands, it's a warning sign that's been coming. Cresswell just perhaps for the first time gets a little too tight. Majzek at his near post has been very impressive today, but it is Benny Ashley Seal that gets a goal back.
Yeah, you have to say it's a good finish. I think from centre half's point of view, you want him to try and get tight, but he was just a bit too quick, too powerful on that occasion on the turn. And good finish at a narrow angle. But just saying, if we could have got to half time 2-0, it'd have been great. But let's not take his foot off the gas now.
Yeah, very important that Leeds can get in that interval with this lead. It's something to build on, especially considering the chances Wolves have had and the pressure that Leeds have been under. And the mistake at the back though, McCalmont to McKinstry, who's caused carnage at the back. One of the Wolves players, very awkward fall there. The boot came off at the same time. Good work from Kennett. McCalmont again, he's looked to have made a difference since entering the fray. Edmondson now to Hudson. To Cresswell again. Down the left, he was just looking for Hudson, and Sanderson got there first. Not a bad idea. And pretty ambitious from Wolves to go all the way over the top. Casey will read that easily. Into Jenkins. Jenkins nearly caught out, but nifty footwork from him, and he releases Noah Kenner, who will look for Bobby Camwell down the right, and now he appears. Good strength. Calmont spreads the play to Hudson. Hudson's got space to attack if he wants to use it. For now, that isn't the case. It's to Haugland. A couple of minutes left of this first half as McKinstry gets it once more. Hat-trick now on for him if he gets another chance. Hudson back to Cresswell. To Jenkins. McCalmont's asking for it in the middle, and I'm not saying Matej Bogus had a bad game, Ben, because I thought he was effective in what he did, but you can see the difference with McCalmont constantly asking for the ball and just trying to it's an extra gear to go through, isn't it, when he's on the park. He just quickens things up a bit shorter in terms of the passes don't have to go over his head. He wants it, and he wants to be the man that carries on the move.
Well, what he does, he just sits a little bit deeper to the likes of a Bogus, where you see Bogus will try and get in beyond Ryan Edmondson, where Alfie McCalmont, you see their thick of action, always available for a pass, always reliable as well.
Edmondson's found some joy out there on the right today, just playing a little bit further behind Camwell, supporting runner. As the ball's in behind, Kenner's going to chase it. Across comes Majacek. And again, Majacek now straight on the attack. Leeds perhaps will fancy their chances with the ball at their feet, maybe buoyed by the 2 goals. Jenkins goes long, gives Edmondson something to chase, and there's that battle we've been relishing, and the centre-back of Wolves wins it for now. And straight through the middle, they will go to that man with question, Otasawi, and out to the left for Ryan Giles. Sanderson, neat turn from Perry. Cresswell has to come across, and Cresswell perhaps committing himself too early. Now Casey's come across, and the centre-back duo combine, and Cresswell needs to maybe keep his head a little bit. You can probably see from his demeanour he's a little bit frustrated, because he knows that he'll be putting, well, from knowing from what we've watched him this season, he'll probably be blaming himself for that goal for the first one. So he was a little over-eager there to nip in and get it back again.
Yeah, it's just about a little learning curve, just getting your position right. Don't always have to dive in, you don't always have to be the first to the ball. If you're not going to reach it or get there first, just sit off.
Yeah, McKinstry again with an important tackle. Likewise Hudson to Haugland, who needs to keep it. He does. That's nearly kept in from Hudson. I like the idea from McCalmont, though, to try and quickly go out towards the left. Wolves have won the ball back. Trying to go in behind. Cresswell steps across really comfortably, and the referee has decided that is the end of the first half, so pretty much blows up on the 45-minute mark, and Leeds have absorbed plenty of pressure to lead by 2-1. A brace from McKinstry, the second, the pick of them after a thrilling counter, and a double save from Majacek, and Ashley Seal with a goal back for Wolves. Join us for second half commentary shortly. Welcome back to LUTV's coverage of this Premier League Cup clash between Wolves and Leeds United. And if you're just joining us, it was a very entertaining first half. Wolves dominating large parts, pretty much 35 minutes plus, but Leeds with some really impressive counter-attacks. Stuart McKinstry with the first and the second goal for Leeds, putting them 2-0 in front. A beautiful nutmeg for the second and a determined run. Little rebound and a finish, and then the striker or forward Benny Ashley Seal got a goal back for Wolves in the about 6-7 minutes left of that first half. So real lesson for Leeds to learn from, as Edmondson picks the ball up, running through the team in a second once his attack comes to a close. Myself, Tom Hill and Ben Parker bringing you the action today, as Wolves now on the attack themselves. This is pretty much how the game went in the first half. Both teams all out action, trying to set the tempo, and very little stoppages for any injuries. In fact, the referee only gave 15 seconds of stoppage time. More head tennis in the middle of the park as Cresswell joins in. McKinstry to Majacek. Now, good time. Don't want to jinx it in case anything happens, but to run you through the team. Leeds go with Majacek, Kenner, Casey, Jenkins, Cresswell, Hudson, Camwell, McCalmont, McKinstry, Haugland and Edmondson. Wolves go with Sondergaard, Sanderson, Otasawi, Marquez, Burt, Ashley Seal, Francis, Giles, Kundal, Perry and Dadashin, as Edmondson's turned away from his mark and then tries to thread the ball through for Haugland. Doesn't get to him. He's going to put the pressure on now, though, is Edmondson. And that will be cleared out towards the right-hand side. So, Ben, welcome back to the action as we just break off for a slight tap. But no one kind of nips in so we can hear your thoughts. But yeah, I mean, perhaps you could probably forgive Wolves for being surprised if they weren't ahead in the first half. They had numerous chances, but don't want to use too many cliches. But you've got to put the ball in the back of the net. Cameron Majacek made some great saves. Leeds were clinical. And 2-1 lead they now have. Yeah,
and another cliche, goals change games, and still did in that first half. And the good thing about that, in our point of view, we can be so much better on the ball. Thought defensively we were excellent, but the little things are just giving the ball away so easy in the first half, happened time and time again. So, look, even if we up that by another 20-30%, we'll cause Wolves problems, because the 2 goals we have scored, we've been so clinical with winning the ball high up the pitch and then having the quality to go finish the moves off. So just these positions here, can we just keep the ball nice and simple? Don't have to try a forceful pass in the midfield area, just keep moving it really quick.
Yeah, ball into McKinstry, switch wide for Hudson. Hudson's going to try and dig this ball out towards the far post, onto the roof of the net. Be a goal kick. A reminder of the form in coming into this. It's 1 defeat in 9 for Leeds and no win in 7 for Wolves. So Leeds looking to capitalise on Wolves' poor form. Good header from Kenner. Calmont to replace Mateus Bogus in the first half. Releases Bobby Camwa. There's a real race on. Camwa's strong and he gets past his man. Now a chance to get the ball in behind. And it's a really unlucky touch from Camwa. Advantage is going to be played. He did all the good work at first. Perhaps could have carried it a little bit further. But the eagerness to play the pass. Now Wolves on the counter. Camwa's got to get back. Kenner comes across. The centre-back's the nearest man forward. And Majacek again at the feet. Inch perfect. The save. I don't know what this centre-back is doing, by the way, because he can play up front. The man's a machine. Is not a Sawi, but Leeds are dealing with him when he gets to the edge of the box. But again, just another lesson to learn. Once Camera had pushed up, someone has to go cover him. That's why he got him behind.
Great pass.
Yeah, it's a good ball towards McKinstry. As we say, he's looking for the hat-trick, and keeper takes his time and eventually clears out toward the left. Hudson has impressed. As now the ball is with Haugland. He's going to try and come forward. Haugland's going to turn inside to McKinstry. McKinstry going for goal, and the keeper saves just in the nick of time. The defender gets there as well, but Stuart McKinstry playing with real confidence. I mean, I'd go for goal every time I got the ball if I wanted to get a hat-trick in the Premier League Cup, but he had every right to go for that.
It surprised me with the technique he used. I just thought he was just going to try and bend one towards the far corner, but the last second he just put his laces through it. Great connection, and the keeper kind of fortunate more or less straight at him.
Kenner dives in. That's interception. Looks like Joe Stanley's out there now, as now Wolves come break. Hudson's got to get across. Cresswell's coming. Cresswell's going to try and stand them up. He gets a touch to the man. Does he, according to the Wolves player? I don't think there was much of a touch really at all, but the goal kick's given. The referee is the man that decides it. It was a real battle on our hands as Cresswell set off, so it's a bit of a change around in the team because Stanley's come on. Can't see Ollie Casey out there.
Yeah, looks like he has come on for Ollie Casey. And I thought Stanley did ever so well at Birmingham.
Really impressive.
Thought he were excellent. Spent a lot of time out last year. Seen Mark Jackson at the game actually, who had him through the under-18s and missed a lot of football last year with an ACL injury. So good to see him back.
Yeah, towards Camwa now. A chance to cut the ball back, looking for Haugland, who just can't get there. Wolves will bring it away on the byline. When Kenner flies in, he has to get to his feet as they're on the attack here with Renat Dadashan. He goes looking. Cresswell sticks out like and gets to it. Jenkins comes across to try and help out, and Jenkins goes down the right. Touch takes it away from Edmondson. And there's Camwa once more, and he's had a really strong start to this second half, Bobby Camwa. McCalmont again so tidy in possession. In towards McKinstry. He's got Hudson on the left, so it's a makeshift defence for Leeds. They've lost one of the centre-backs. Might be that Jenkins and Stanley are just going to switch the role and take it in turns to play deep in centre-back position. McKinstry looking for McCalmont. Intercepted now, and Ed Francis will bring the ball away. Francis across the defence to Marquez. Sanderson. It's a poor ball. Leeds try and get there. McCalmont sticks out the leg. Hudson puts himself about. The centre-back's off again. Otasawi goes past Jenkins. He's got Kenner coming across. Ball towards the near post. Cresswell deals with it. Camwa tries to hold off the on-rushing attacker, and he's got good strength and poise to do that, and that's a lovely ball into Jenkins. And now Jenkins will look for McKinstry, and he goes across to the left for Haugen, who's going to try and take them on his own. Haugen might have to try and cut back his run. Sanderson chops him down. That should be a free kick. It's clear as day. Great work from Haugen.
Yeah, he's done well there. Nice and positive. But I'm expecting a yellow card here from the referee. Got nowhere near the ball.
Can't see it yet, Ben. Is he just going to delay it and have a word? No, just a free kick.
Just encouraging just people to boot each other now.
McKinstry stood over the set piece. Nearly 10 gone of this the second half. Calmont's come short. Hudson's making a little run in behind. It's back to McKinstry. Gets his foot through it to the far post. Cresswell just wide. And possibly easier to miss from there. But again, once the leg is fully stretched, very difficult to get just the studs on it rather than the top of the laces. And his foot was pointing the other way and it fired wide. But another great ball in from McKinstry. I'm not sure if the flag came up on this near side for Cresswell, so whether that would have spared his blushes, but a good chance, Ben.
Yeah, it looks like obviously offside has been given from where taking the dead ball situation there, but well worked. Played it short and great delivery into a really good area, just straight offside. He'll be thankful as well because it was a great opportunity he did miss, Charlie Cresswell, and we're seeing he can be deadly in those situations.
Here's Jenkins just shooting his left and right just to give himself a little bit more space. Hudson now goes back and wanting to play it to Jenkins and does. Yeah. So that was Hudson, it was Stanley at first, and now McKinstry on the left. I still find it pretty remarkable that Stuart McKinstry started playing left wing back, left midfield when he first played for the 23s, and fast forward 5 months he's played centre mid most times we've seen him, so they've obviously seen something they like in him of the coaching staff to go through the middle. But as to that flexibility of the team, he's seemingly playing a bit further left now, and it adds a new dimension to his game. Again, Karl Majzek, regardless of what happens today, deserves a huge pat on the back for the saves he's made. That's a good ball. McKinstry again just picking up every second ball today. Camwer, Edmondson goes down the right. Camwer might fancy a little run forward. It's to McKinstry. It's a little bit short. And Wolves can bring it away. It's a good turn from Ashley Seal. Stanley comes across, has a little pull at the shirt just to make sure he can keep the balance, and here comes the striker again. Cresswell gets down to get to the ball, loses the sight of it, still gets up and clears, and he'll have to earn his money today, Charlie Cresswell, the only recognised centre-back out there on the pitch that started. I mean, no one we know can fill in that position, but kind of more of a holding midfielder that can play centre-back. And Cresswell having to work overtime with Casey back there, and it looks a little makeshift. It might be a bit more risky for us to watch, but they're certainly putting everything into it to make do with what they've got, Leeds.
The Aber again, just great position sense from Charlie Cresswell, just sniffing out the danger. I'm going to need more of that. He's going to have to, like I say, been the only recognised really kind of centre half. And it's kind of defender with real experience along that back line at the moment. He's going to have to be stand up and be counted on, because we're going to have to grind in, because Wolves, I was saying, going forward, they've got some real threats, real strong players, some strong talent as well. So it's important we keep that back door shut.
Yeah, Hudson looking for Haugen, who'd not set off making the run. So Sanderson goes back to Sondergaard. We are 57.5 minutes in Premier League Cup action. Leeds, as it stands, will get their first win, but we won't talk too much about that. I don't want to jinx it and get the blame. Header flicked on, Cresswell's underneath it, and again, very composed play from Charlie Cresswell, who sweeps up, puts it to no one Kennett, and Leeds can build with Jenkins. Wolves over the top, and McKenna comes forward. Just one touch too far away. Got the first little touch of the ball, but just couldn't repeat that. I think the flag's gone up for a handball. These little breaks will do Leeds good, just a chance to give some more instructions out. Take a breather. A lot of the players have had to work incredibly hard today in defence and then straight into attack, just the counter-attacking style that Leeds have deployed. Cresswell takes a Short free kick to Kenner. It's a heavy touch, allowing Haugen to chase. Mark is back. Sondergaard. And Haugland, the leading man in attack. Good pressure. Cresswell dives in. Free kick given. Leeds were on the attack then if they'd have been allowed it. The number 9 is saying he's caught down the back of the ankle of the Achilles area. Don't know whether there was much contact. He seems in not a lot of pain considering how he first went down, but he's seemingly trying to suggest it was intentional. Your thoughts, Ben?
My thoughts initially, it's a miracle. He's back on his feet. Because to me, there was hardly any contact whatsoever. Not even a free kick in my book. Rolling around like there's been a sniper fade onto the gantry. But no, it's a miracle. He's back on his feet.
It's great to see as the keeper retrieves this free kick. Leeds will reset and attack. Haugen's staying down the middle for now, but that soon changes. So Edmondson comes across. It's a poor mistake and great pressure from Leeds. McKinstry and Edmondson combine to make sure Leeds get it back. On the hour mark, a throw-in with Hudson. Cresswell holds it up into Stanley. Stanley back to Edmondson. He's going to carry it a bit further. Edmondson skips inside and now plays it across to McCalmont. It's now with Camworth. He's got one for Company to try and beat. He's just going to stop his run and go back to Kenner. Inside it comes. McCalmont off Kenner's legs, and it fires away for a throw-in. Leeds did look like they were just about to make another change. And they are, as we see Jamie Shackleton getting ready. Today's game brought to you by Deliveroo, Food Freedom. And Shackleton for Alfie McCalmont. So Ben got it right in the first half about this planned changes. And it looks like it's been choreographed from the start. So Burgess, McCalmont, Jamie Shackleton, and of course we often see the 23s blended into the first team, unless you've been hiding under a rock. You know, we know Calvin Phillips is suspended, so it's a chance for these youngsters that have been named to step into the void. So fingers crossed McCallum impresses. The ball comes in. Majek just about can't keep it in, but it will be a corner. But yeah, now a chance for Jamie Shackleton, who's of course still just shaking off that injury, getting his fitness back.
Yeah, and he was back on the bench at the weekend. So for the likes of these players, half an hour each, and as you mentioned, with the suspension of Calvin Phillips for the next 3 matches, it's a perfect opportunity to try and put themselves in the manager's mind.
Yeah, got some defending to do now. As the corner comes in, Majek comes out. It's a good punch. Francis back in towards Sanderson, is going to turn it away, but there is Jenkins to check the run. He'll pull the shirt. Jenkins looks down the line, but it's a crafty back heel to Shackleton, who just puts his foot on the ball for a second or two. Calms things down as best he can. Cresswell up into the air and out of play. Hudson doesn't get a free kick. Linesman says it's a throw-in to Wolves. No one Kenner comes across, just try and stop Dadashin. Never leaves his side and makes sure he gets a touch to concede the throw-in, but it's what you want. If he's had to come out of position, stay with his man. And he's defending really well this second half. Wolves are a very impressive outfit with a strong academy in recent years under Nuno Espirito Santo, but Leeds are more than holding their own, and again, no curses intended, but seemingly getting a bit more joy stopping the attacks in the second half. Shackleton, Edmondson defending high. Ball comes forward, it's in behind, a chance, two of them coming. Mazek comes out, flaps at it, gets a good enough hand and is up again. Well, Kamal Mazek is having an incredible game, Ben, to quite simply describe it. There's nothing else to say. As Shackleton slips, we'll get your thoughts in a second. Mazek maybe called upon again as they've stretched it to the right. A shooting opportunity blocked. Stanley gets his foot in the way, and again with a second attempt. Now orange shirts queuing up towards the far post. Again, Stanley's there. It will fall to Burt. He will fire it forward, a chance to finish, and it's neatly taken. Two quick touches and in. And Luke Kundal has levelled matters. Just a failure to clear the lines, but Karl Majzek before that, Ben, had worked wonders.
Yeah, you feel so sorry for Majzek because, yet again, superb goalkeeping. He's been excellent this game, but couldn't do anything about that goal. And you're right, Tom, we just couldn't quite clear his lines. Thought we scrambled back really well, got bodies there, but no, we just couldn't quite get the ball high enough up the pitch, and Wolves eventually punished us.
Yeah, good through ball from Burt. I'll be honest, I think he could play that again. I'm not sure many defenders would expect him to pass on the edge of the box. He shot a few times in the first half. He had an angle. So just perhaps that's why the midfielder's been allowed to just make that little timely run to get away from his marker. But yeah, good saves from Majzek. And you've got to praise the attacking play of Wolves. And this game poised well now. Leeds will like to try and maybe test the keeper a little more in the second half. It has been more of seeing this game out and now need a threat on the counter again. Of course, changes have been made. Casey and Burgess off, as well as McCalmont, as they come forward again with Ashley Steele. He's trying to get past Stanley. Majzek once more to his right. Stanley swings a leg at it. Cresswell does as well, but Cresswell is a lot stronger and clears the territory towards halfway. Here is Francis. It's a poor ball, but it's still strong enough to get over Haugen's head. There is Sanderson as he goes towards halfway and beyond. A reminder, the next game for the first team is Tuesday evening, 7:45 kick-off. That game rearranged from tomorrow, of course, and fans can buy the match pass for that game against Millwall in the Championship. To Sondergaard in the Wolves goal. It's a mistake forced by Edmondson's high press again, so might take Leeds 5 or 6 minutes to maybe get there, maybe get the bad moods swing out of the way. I think they'll be probably a bit frustrated. It's 2-2, but they know they can get the goals on the counter. They've got the likes of Shackleton out there in the middle of midfield. There's still a lot of attacking talent out there, Ben.
There is, and the way we got our 2 goals in the first half was, you see there, Ryan Edmondson pressing high up, winning the ball in the final third, and we do plenty of that because we've proven so far this game that we've got more than enough to break them down when we do turn the ball high up the pitch. Fields, and just feeling back of his head there, I just think it's just caught a stray knee or leg in back of his head. Hopefully he's fine. Looks like he is. But no, keep pressing high. Don't drop off. Don't be all of a sudden scared because they've got themselves back level of Wolves. There's still plenty in this game for us.
Yeah, so wait for this throw-in to be taken by Hudson, which he goes to Haugland. Sanderson tries to get ahead to it. I think he's done well actually to head the ball off Haugland's shoulder. Not given. Doesn't matter, we'll take it. It's gone in Leeds' favour as we await a new ball. Are we in Crewe again?
I thought the weather's quite nice in Wolves today.
I've had flashbacks. As Hudson's got the ball. There is Haugland. Into Jenkins. He's good from Leeds. McKinstry. Now can he get into a shooting up position? No opportunity there. Haugland's done well to come across. Maybe thought McKinstry could have gone one way then the other, but it's just good defence. He's been a real live wire today. Yeah, in and around the box for Leeds. It just looks to be really mentally dialed into this game, and you wouldn't back against him from getting that third, as Leeds take the throw into Shackleton. It hits him a couple of times. Eventually back to Hudson. Offside maybe? Must be.
But for what there? I don't see that one, to be honest. Look, the linesman's in a better position than us, but didn't see that at all.
No. But that's the call, as you say, Ben, as the pass is played down the right. Cresswell beaten in the air. McKinstry goes for a second bite of it. He's thrown the striker out of the way, and him and Majacek having a duel for Leeds' best player today as Jenkins is clipped. Not too much activity yet from the Wolves bench. Leeds played their cards. Cresswell skipping along the ball, waiting for an option, decides there wasn't one, so it's back to Kamil Majacek.
Thought he was doing a little dance then.
Ball forward to Jenkins, good header down, beating the man at alongside him, the centre forward, who's caused a lot of problems for Leeds today. It's back to Owen Otasawi. Here comes Edmondson on the attack. Algund as well. Sanderson over the top. Leeds have to watch out as the tackle comes in from McKinstry. He goes down to the ground early. It will be a corner to Wolves. 20 to go. Francis, again the number 8 for Wolves to go across and take it. Sanderson the one to watch as he's just peeled away from Noah Kennett towards the far post, flicked away by Stanley, or near post should I say, as here is Haugland. He gets caught late there, surely that's a free kick, and no, nothing. Ball forward. Ashley Steele's going to try and get to it. Cresswell likewise. Stanley comes across, and it's a cushion pass back to Majacek. I think he went to clear it and it took a deflection. And we are going to get a break for some cramp. It's one of the Wolves players which Nicholas Haugen's gone across to help out with. So a break at 2 apiece. If you're only just joining us on LUTV, a Stuart McKinstry brace in the first half put Leeds 2-0 up after they managed to ride an awful lot of pressure and absorb and score 2 goals on the counter. Don't forget to check out the highlights, especially for the second, with a fantastic nutmeg. Benny Ashley Steele got a goal back before half-time, and then Cundall's just finished in the 68th minute to make this a closer game. Both sets of players getting a drink on board. And a chance for the coaching staff, Ben, just to reiterate the tactics, make sure players stay switched on, don't be panicking in certain situations.
You can see Carlos Coburn speaking to 3 of the defenders, Noah Kenner, Charlie Cresswell, Stanley as well. Just whether, I don't know, might have altered the shape a little bit, or just saying stay compact, stay narrow, because we saw that in the first half, especially Noah Kenner cleared the ball 2-3 times by having that narrow position, not kind of natural being a right back, being out wide trying to defend the cross. He was really tucked in narrow and he managed to clear the ball from that position. So whether he's just saying that and saying, look, I don't want them playing through as if they're going to get in behind, it's going to go down the channel and they've got to produce something from a wide area. So if we can just stay solid for the remaining 18 minutes or so, it always gives us a chance with the forward players we have got to try and get that winner.
Certainly does, as Kenner comes to Camworth. Just seen where the coach is urging Bobby Camworth to get further down that right-hand side, and Leeds still need a counter-attacking threat. Yes, they're under pressure at the back, but can't just sit there for 20 minutes and welcome Wolves towards the edge of their own box. They've got to attack, and Camworth knows he has the pace to get in behind, as Jenkins, who I think's had another great game today. Again, it's very easy to remember he's a player that's only recently come out of the under-18s and has popped back when he needed to. He's playing above his station He looks for long. Camber, again, that's what I mentioned. He'd been urged to go forward, and he's just having a chat with Jenkins, who thought that's where he'd gone. But he stayed rooted to the ground. But yeah, Jenkins has had to cope with 2 centre midfield partners in there today. 2 different ones, and he's not looked out of place in the slightest.
No, it's never easy. Like I say, as a midfielder, when you're having 3 in there, you like to get that balance, you like to get that rhythm with the guys outside of you. So with the changes, look, he's played with Alfie McCalmont, Jamie Shackleton, plenty of occasions, but in a match, it's the rhythm that you try and get in the balance. But no, he's coped well, and like I say, he's done a good job today.
Yeah, we see the ball waiting for this free kick. They've pushed that into the Leeds half, which is where it should have been taken from, and Leeds have got to reset and watch out towards the far post, which they've done so. Camwer gets to it first. Doing really well there, Bobby Camwer. Shackleton went for a return pass. It was just too hot, but it's great for Camwer to get this many minutes under his belt. Still plenty of games to go, Ben, in the season. Get rid of those cobwebs to try and push forward in the first team. Of course, he'll watch his old teammates like Stevens and co get in the bench, and we'll think and fancy his chances as Renat Derashin is going to come off. And potentially coming on in his place, Chem Campbell. Just double check the number as and when we can see it. Forward it comes. Good strength. Ken has been beaten. Here they come through the middle. A chance for the sub, but over the bar, and it is Campbell that fires over. He scored with his first touch. Good news for Leeds, he didn't.
It's good news. He just, like I say, just comes straight from the bench, and that's probably the thing that saved us there. Because what a chance that was, by the way. But it's so sloppy how it got there. It's just from a throw-in, just switched off maybe, just gone to sleep. But just a warning sign yet again. Switch off for 1 second against this powerful Wolves outfit that will punish us.
Yeah, Cresswell plays it out from the back. It's 14 of regulation time to go. Stanley works a 1-2 out of the back. Gets caught in possession. The Wolves have to try and get back. Cresswell to the rescue with a very important tackle. Now he's copying the Wolves number 5, Otasawi, with a run forward of his own, as it's to McKinstry, who, as we've been saying all day, has really fancied this tie. He goes forward to Edmondson. Edmondson gets out-muscled off the ball. He hits McKinstry in the side of the head, and he hope he's okay. Might need a couple of seconds to just readjust. That's just been pelted at the side of his headstroke, McKinstry. And perhaps Wolves feel that's the only way to stop him. Just pick balls at him.
And they're so sore. We've all been there, where cold winter's day, you get a ball smashed at your head. It's the last thing you need. But thankfully, it's fine, because he's had an excellent game as McKinstry. 2 goals, yes, but the stuff off the ball and the quality linking up with other players has been really good today.
Ball fired forward. Cresswell's watching it come over his shoulder. Myers, it gives him the call. Just calms things down. Kenner. Here's Jenkins. Shackleton. Kenner to Camwer. Back into Andreas Sondergaard now. Otasawi. Haugen's trying to put the pressure on. Fired down the line. I think Jenkins got a slight touch to that. It will be a throw-in.
He's done well, Jenkins. Ever so slight a touch there.
Owen Otasawi, the defender, goalkeeper, centre forward, centre mid for Wolves. Looks like he might have picked up a bit of cramp with all that running he's doing, so it serves him right. Leeds might try and target him if he is hobbling along. As out comes Stanley out of defence. Good work from Wolves. Leeds to try and get back to the 6-yard box now. Across the face it comes, deflected. It's an air kick, and Shackleton hooks it clear. Edmondson's come deep to help out his defence. Bit of hold-up play from Edmondson. Superb. not had many chances today. He hit the post with the one he did have, but again, puts his team first, has to work hard as McKinstry tries to wrestle that ball away from Wolves, and it's back to pretty reckless and end-to-end football. Kenner picks up possession. Fired out now to the right. Leeds is throwing right underneath the gantry. Owen Kenner, who by the way did start wearing number 2. He swapped shirts with the number 18 jersey. Should you be checking the team sheets. Kenner back with Camwa to Cresswell. Myers to Shackleton. That's good work from Jamie Shackleton, Ben. Just pulling away from everybody around him as the holding midfielder gets a chance to look up with the ball at his feet for a change, and maybe a bit of a rarity in this second, well, in the entire game, but Leeds try to control the possession as well.
That's what he does do. That's the experience that's built up over the last year, always offering himself just as an option on the ball. I can see he's popped up on the right hand side now.
Trying to offer a different angle, looking for Camwa. Camwa's going to pick up the second ball to Jenkins. McKinstry wanted it. And Kenner retrieves it. Shackleton to Camwa. Shackleton's away down the right hand side. Might go over the first time cross. He will. It's blocked by the defence. It will be a corner.
It started off with Jamie Shackleton 30 seconds prior to that, back in around our 18-yard box, just offering himself, just being busy off the ball. Any young player in midfielder, look at Calvin Phillips, what he does in the first team, and it transfers to the 23s, like Jamie Shackleton's done there. Bit of energy, he's won as a corner kick.
Theo Hudson, the man that's come across to take. Towards the edge of the 6-yard box, it's going to bounce just in Wolves' favour. Sanderson heading it into the floor. Cresswell puts it back into the mixer. Cam was lurking, and unfortunately Wolves will clear at the second time of asking. No one Kenner. Wolves have got there first. Jenkins comes across. Now he has to get on his bike and stop the next man coming. He goes in too early, Jenkins, and hopefully trying to use the wet surface to get in there. It doesn't work. It's going to fall to the back to Campbell. Across comes Stanley Campbell towards goal. Myerzik saves. What a miss. What a miss from point blank range. Kamil Myerzik got down again. Kenner was on the line. Well, Ben, you've got your foot in pot. You'd have scored that.
I don't know about that. I might have hit the target with the cast on, but wow.
Oh, wow.
We're not going to see a worse miss than that all season, I guarantee you. We've definitely got away with one there. Myerzik just done well to get a hand on it because the shot were low, it were hard, and when he's parried it, got fallen straight to the striker. You're just thinking 3-2, and it should be 3-2, but miss of the season. It's kind of saved us and kept us on level terms for the time being.
Yeah, time being is the key term, isn't it? Leeds can't. I think they've have got out of trouble because Wolves come again with Campbell, McKinstry. Free kicks being given, and Kenner gave up on that because of that. And again, just great work from McKinstry. Reminder: today's game brought to you by Deliveroo Food Freedom. As we're going to see the replay of that, and when Campbell went wide, you thought he'd gone too far wide. Again, Myerzik put it down. Oh dear.
I don't feel I'll be wanting to see too many replays of that from the Wolves. From the Wolves side of things. I don't know how he's put it there. I don't know how he's not scored.
Yeah, not good for the young man, which I don't think he's going to get away with that in training forever, really. That'll be mentioned for the next few days, next few weeks. Maybe the summer, if some of this youth team leave, they might forget, as Leeds will try and be buoyed by that ball forward. And it is into the middle of midfield. Again, Wolves have got a lot of energy about their play. They're still going to try and punish Leeds into the channel. Myerzik will have to watch that across the near post, but not too much because substitute Rafael Naya can't get there. Less than 7 to go. The Wolves number 10 is hobbling badly. That is Taylor Perry. It's very hard to play at this intensity. Such physical demand of these players as McKinstry comes forward. He floats it over the top to Shackleton, who probably thought safety first. He'll have to just flick it on. Cresswell out to the right for Hudson. Hudson's going to go down the left, and unfortunately can't keep it in play. It's very hard to predict this because Wolves are still the team pushing, but they were doing that in the first half, and Leeds scored 2 great goals on the counter, so can't write them off. Simple as.
Not at all. It's almost like, I think we don't really mind that if they're going to keep committing bodies forward, as long as we're in a good shape defensively, and then we can spring the counter from that.
Going down the right. Good work from Stanley, who was one of the 18s players that played against Birmingham in the last round of this competition. Mentions the Gibbon as well, a couple of other under-18s that stepped up to make their debuts for the 23s. Looking for Edmondson up top. He's got the ricochet in his favour. Now has to get across. Defender gets to it. Edmondson working overtime to get back. Shackleton gets to the ball. And now across to the right hand side with Sanderson. Haugland's trying to get across. Still too much space. That's Marquez. There's Jenkins. Jenkins to Shackleton. Potential counter for Leeds as Edmondson gets on his way down the right. Can he play it into Shackleton? He tries. Releases the number 14 just a little bit too far in front of him. And Shackleton does well to just stop the play, concede a throw-in. But we know what Jamie Shackleton brings to any team for Leeds, whether it be 23s or first team. Bundles of energy. Shows it there. And if Patty's a bit slower from Edmondson, he's got a chance to get onto it.
Yeah, I know he's only going to get half an hour with Jamie Shackleton, and that might be the reason why he's popping up everywhere, but he's putting a real shift in.
So is this man McKinstry, who just takes down Benny Ashley Seal, who flicks the legs out. McKinstry's got cramp. Bit of sass from the Ashley Seal. Benny Ashley Seal, should I say. That's because he missed that chance earlier. He's frustrated at everybody. Reminder, Tuesday night, 7:45 kickoff. Leeds hosting Millwall at Ellen Road. Get your match pass for the game as the Whites return to Championship action. You can see a couple of players, Ben Edmondson perhaps struggling with cramp, and it really isn't a surprise, is it? That I'm actually surprised more people haven't gone down as Cameron nips in. We've praised Leeds players throughout the game, throughout the season, but it's just a credit to everyone that's played out there today. It's been a really good match to watch, with 2 teams going all out for a victory.
Yeah, it was said in the first half, it seemed like a proper game, and that's what it has been. 2 teams trying to play in the right way. Some really good players. Been impressed by Wolves, look a strong outfit, but equally impressed how we just stuck to the task. Yeah, I don't think we've been at our best on the ball, but we've grinded it out at times.
Yeah, Campbell's got away down the left, a little cut back into the middle of the park. Stanley's tried to jockey to hold up the play. It's going to go to Perry. Across the face again. Cresswell steers it away from danger, only for the time being though. There's Jenkins with what seems like the umpteenth interception he's done on the edge of the Leeds box to help them out, as down the line they go. Edmondson and Haugland trying to get to it. 2 tired players up there as Hudson continues to rally. This man Stanley a bit fresher into the game at half time. He's going to try and take it over halfway to Haugland. Carlos Colbrand waving his arms around. He might fancy the chance to counter, but Leeds have been sloppy in possession. With a couple of minutes to go, they've now got some defending to do. There is Kenner. He wants more of a supporting runner. He's going to go over the top. Can't get there because Otasawi gets there first. It's into Francis, to Sanderson. Francis once more. Again, this is what Leeds want, Ben. Going back to the keeper, right down the other end of the field. This is the issue though. Once they go back to the keeper, Edmondson puts the press on. There's huge gaps between the midfield and the Wolves defence, and they've taken that opportunity to stride forward. Again, there's too much free space. Plenty of it. Francis comes forward. Across comes Stanley. Here's Hudson. Hudson gets away. Great work from him. Now can he get a supporting runner to help him out? He goes down the line to Haugland, who's got a real fight on his hands to keep it in play. He turns past Sanderson. Sanderson's just too strong for him though, and Haugland has to try again with the second time of asking. Doesn't get there. Sanderson trying to release a counter. This just pretty much epitomises the game we've had today, from attack to defence. Campbell trying to get past Noah Kenner. Top work from Noah Kenner, who must be absolutely shattered.
That's going to say, it makes it even better, that 1v1 defending, when he's probably out on his feet.
Edmondson trying to get there against Otter Sawi, can't do so. Wolves player's gone down with cramp. Well, possible cramp. A leg injury. Sanderson's asking for some treatment by the looks of things. So we are going to get a slight delay. A couple of minutes of stoppage time for the subs, for the fact we've had a couple of players ask for some physio work. Leeds might try and get the drinks on board, the gels, to get that last little ounce of energy out of those legs. As always, Ben, we've pretty much reached that time. Man of the match award. Who are you going for?
Well, I think Jack Jenkins has been great, centre midfield, done really well. McKinstry with his 2 goals is, I mentioned, just not the goals, his overall play's been excellent. But no, Majezek for me is arguably kept us in this game, and if it stays as it is, or if we do nick a late winner, we've got to be thankful for him for that. So he's done excellent. His decision making, when to come off his line, some great saves, low down as well. But there was a defensive unit. Like I said, we've put his bodies on the line. We've worked ever so hard. Such an honest group of players.
Yeah. So into stoppage time, 3 minutes of which have been added. Keeper has the ball down, ready to go for one last clearance downfield. Leeds, a couple of minutes now, switch on what would be a really solid draw in this Premier League Cup against a very talented team. Shackleton's won a free kick. Shackleton wants to take it quickly. I'm not sure any of his teammates would like him to take that ball quickly. Jenkins to Camwell. That's a beautiful lead to Shackleton, who's kept that ball in. Can Leeds nick it in the last few minutes? McKinstry. What's an attempted pin seeker to left to Hudson. It worked, but Hudson just slips, hits the surface in frustration at himself, but he doesn't need to be so downcast. It was a great idea. Again, head down. I want to attack. I want to take the touch out of my feet and go at them. Leeds just denied by that. I mean, it was a heavy touch. He might not have got there, but the slippery surface helping Wolves.
Yeah, it did. The impressive thing is, though, you see the amount of players from Wolves going down with cramp. We look really strong going forward. Fitness levels just immense.
It's kept in by Wolves. No, in fact, the linesman said not. You know, all those summer sessions when they were probably seeing 6 or 7 of each other in dizziness at the efforts that Carlos Corberán and Marcelo Bielsa were asking of them are paying off. Works at all levels as well, of course, as Cresswell tries to clear it. It's taken a deflection. Shackleton comes across. The Wolves players had a little tug on the shirt. He's got away with it. He blindsided the officials, and he's managed to keep the ball as a result. McKinstry. Unbelievable display from him. Without a doubt the best in a white shirt. And there's been a few. It's in now to the middle. Taylor Perry. It's Wolves trying to go forward. There's only a few seconds left of the allocated stoppage time. This might be the last attack for Wolves to try and get something more than a point. Leeds. Hudson goes across. Can't dive in. Looked like he was thinking about it. That's going to trickle just inside, according to the linesman. There is Cresswell to launch it clear. And there is the full-time whistle. A couple of Wolves players fall to the floor in sheer exhaustion. Fantastic game of youth football there in the Premier League Cup. So McKinstry's 2 efforts eventually cancelled out by a goal from Ashley Sale and from Cundle. Miss of the season from Ashley Sale as well. Cameron Myersick, superb, as was McKinstry and the rest of the team. Fantastic display, and once again, thank you for joining us here on LUTV.